Good evening, folks. This is Darth Rabbit07 comes today with another quick review. Back in 1984, when I first went to go buy Transformers from Rose's with my great uncle, he'd give us 20 bucks a piece. I went and got Bumblebee, Ravage, and Red Frenzy. It's Rumble, 2-pack, and this last character was none other than Brawn. And I'm so tickled to have found this at the Needless Toys toy shop down in Lincolnton, North Carolina yesterday afternoon. Drove to the Deluge. Reward at the end of the Deluge was getting that Brawn in hands, buying it from Tracy. Thanks again to Tracy and the team there. You guys totally rock. And let's get this turn around and get into the review. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the stuff down below there in the description. Thanks again to all those who have subscribed. And on the turntable today we have none other than this Transformers movie Studios Series 86 number 22 Brawn. Looking really awesome inside of this packaging. There's the side, look at the side of the box. There's the back of the box. It converts in 23 steps. In an effort to protect the crew, Brawn is the first to act when the Decepticons attack the Autobot shuttle. We know the outcome of that. For those that were there in 86, it scarred a lot of us. There's that. And I can't help but feel that this is a good indicator that we're going to get a battle damage version in not too distant future, probably packed in with Ratchet. But let's get him out of the box and see what all comes in the box. We have the warning in 26 languages. We have a set of instructions for Brawn and configure your gun this way in robot mode, the steps to get him through there. Like it said, in 23 steps, and weapons storage. So looks to be like a fairly involved transformation, and Brawn inside the box, going away from the twist ties of Recycleville and back into some plastic bindings that will need to be snipped to get him out. And don't forget to check for that gun before you get him out of the box. It's just very loosely. Look how easy that was to get that out of there. Boom. So there's his gun accessory. Here is the backdrop that Brawn comes with, 86 movie series. The same thing, it's in the death pack. And I guess you could have him as a stand-in for that death scene or whatever. I had to check him out, see if he's got the ports for it. Says that, there's that. And here is Brawn on the turntable, and is about as life imitating art pose as I can get him in, considering some of his limitations there. I am really forward to, like I said, have this again in hand, and really do like what I see before me. While it's not perfect, it does do things well, and it looks a whole lot like his G1 namesake from the movie. Let's take a quick look at that one lone accessory. It's cast in black, little pistol, has blast effects compatibility, and for the sake of all the Megatrons I've gotten over time, I've even got a stand in there for him to have a couple squeezes at Megatron. Let's get that armed up on him, which I think that looks absolutely outstanding with him posing with Megatron's cannon. It's something we saw in the show in G1, and just I'm glad I got extra Megatrons to do that over the last 5 years. So there's that, and we're going to go through his articulation next. And I'm going to precursor this articulation right here at the head. It does do a swivel, but you almost have to like pull this out because the way this is done right here, it's painted so tight, but you can get a complete 360. It's so tight I can't even hardly turn it. So you get 360 at the head. Once you get that fixed back to the way you want to, you can slide that back. Boom, there it is. It's got some beautiful paint on those eyes. I love the paint on the face, like the face sculpt. Head, it's just right on there. It feels like it's right out of that animation. Detailing on the chest, you got a tempoed red Autobot symbol. I really wish that they have the white background with the red. I am tired of shortcuts being taken with the paint details. I've got the Babq Brawny. It does a better job of all this and stuff, but that's more of a masterpiece rendition, so that's why he's not in this video review. He can go all the way around there on a ball at the shoulder. There's the ball there. You can get on out to a good T-pose there. You can get that much articulation there to elbow. He's got an upper bicep. It's also going to be the arguing thing for the engineering team that's how you can get his wrist to swivel, which I can't stand that, but there's the wrist swivel because it only has like a hinge joint to go back in due to transformation. This should have been incorporated, especially as good as Beachcomber is, and he has blockage, he still has wrist swivel. That's just a cop out, a shortcut. I'm so over the shortcuts over time. So then we can do the full van damage and better than some. That looks awfully painful. He has all the way around there at the waist due to transformation joint. You can move the backpack out of the way and you can get all the way around due to that transformation joint, which is always a welcome thing. Upper thigh swivel, you can see it's on the mushroom peg there. You got that much in the knee, and then kibble gets in the way. That's understandable. In the great scheme of things, these wheels roll really good, except when we get in the truck mode, you'll see my other complaint with this figure. And so you got the knee, the ankles, you got ankle tiltage for days. You can go all the way down through there like that. Plus you got, due to transformation joints, you got front toe, heel, and you can do different things to get some pretty dynamic posing there in the feet. So that's plus, and plus. And the backpack, like I said, can get in and out of the way. You can store the gun back here in the back if you so desire. Can't wait for Outback. You know, Outback's coming. And just eventuality, we'll get a blast damage shoulder. He's like the strongest Autobot, and he shouldn't be able to be destroyed or anything, but one shoulder shot takes him down in the 86 movie. That's such a crying shame that they were off to kill such great characters. Scar a lot of us at childhood there, but so glad to have this fella here in front of me today. Okie dokie, let's get this guy some comparisons real quick. Here he is with Cliffjumper holding the Titan's Return gun version of Brawn. Cliffjumper and Brawn, sans any guns, and just posing in their animation accurate colors. Bumblebee movie studio series Brawn. I forgot I had this guy, and I need to get this guy reviewed as well. And he's got a little clever attachment that I got. I'll put that link down in the description below, especially when I do that review. Titan's Return. No, actually, that's Power of the Primes. Not Titan's Return, that's next. Power of the Primes, Brawn and Brawn. And of course 86 Brawn with the Titan's Return Brawn, which is an itty bitty wee guy. And I guess I'll do a review of him, and he's actually got a lot of playability with that bike that Cliffjumper was holding a second ago. And here is 86 Brawn with Titan's Return Brawn commandeering Hardhead's body, and I think that looks amazing, guys. Just do a little quick spin there. You can see how those Titan's Return things are ugly as can be, but another Brawn mode, alas. Okay, let's get Brawn transformed in 3, 2, 1, and there is Brawn in his vehicle mode, looking awfully too accurate except for those gaps in the sides. I see a lot of folks complaining about what they're talking about now that's already done the reviews of this. And everything looks okay. Could use a couple more painted details, but that being a transformation joint, I don't know how we could even get that red, even maybe above or below. I'm pretty sure Toy Hacks will have something there, but it may be a clearance issue when it comes to transformation. At the very minimum, they could go out there on the outsides there and put some labels there to give it the brake lights in the back there. That said and done, I do have another configuration that you will undo this and then switch the toe angle to fill the gaps, sorta. Just follow along with me here. So instead of having this thing tucked on the inside there, you can actually flip this thing around and get to go to the outside. Then come on into that step and fill in the gap. I'm gonna clean it up for you real quick. And while it's still not perfect, I think that is a far cry better than just tucking this on the inside. Having it come out makes it look a little fuller. You still got triangle gappage there, but I think that looks a bit better on each side there. I just don't know why that was overlooked, and I don't know why the hubs were overlooked after Beachcomber crushing it with the pin wheels and stuff and keeping that silver interior. I'm thankful that they painted that there, but there's that even. I like this better, like I did like with the Dead Prowl and the Dead Ironhide review the other night. This one solid color plastic keeps it from having multiple plastics, and I think, no, I don't think, I know, I got to looking at Road Ranger, Huffer, Puffer, and Pipes. They did the 2-layer thing where this is if this is a window, this is a whole separate smoky colored plastic, or the blue, plus this is and it was bolted to this, but they got to stop taking shortcuts with their figures and stuff, especially with the prices rising, and no sign of that backing down ever again. But this is still cleverly engineered, very fun transformation. I love that I figured out just a little bit of some way to get that to look a little bit better there in the Jeep mode. And this was one of the figures the night that I started collecting Transformers. In Christmas 1984, my great uncle took us to the store. I got the original Brawn, got Bumblebee, and the 2-pack that was what they call Red it was Red Rumble, but it should be Frenzy, and it came with Ravage, and that's also my love therein. If you don't have these totally squeezed in, you will have clearance issues out the wazoo trying to get everything to line up and actually tab together. And as long as that tabs together, it looks just fine to me. Let's get this guy back on the turntable and get in some comparison shots with the other Brawns in 3, 2, 1, and there is 86 Brawn with the Titans Returns Brawn's actual vehicle mode. And if you get the head in there just right with this thing right here, head upside down like that, you can actually make that look like another version of Brawn there. Little Jeep Cybertronian thing. That's kind of crazy cool, guys. With a quick flip switch, you can have a trike version of that same vehicle mode. Boom, there it is. Or you can even have him fly a speeder bike. There they are, side by side, speeder bike version. And just to show you close up, boom, there it is. And it's that old G1 head. If you can get in on it, boom, you got that G1 head there. I wish it was painted, but it's not. Anyway, you can also have that Titans Return Brawn drive the Power of the Primes Brawn. You scoot this a little bit forward there and get this to shut here. Getting configured like that, and you have Brawn right inside of Brawn next to 86 Brawn there. So Brawn with Brawn, Power of the Primes Brawn with Titans Return Brawn driving. There's that. Studio Series Bumblebee movie Brawn in his minor tank mode next to Studio Series 86 Brawn, looking really, really awesome all the way around. They both have their weaknesses, but boom, there's that. On in some actually not final thoughts, one more comparison just for prosperity. With his other animation aggregate buzzworthy Bumblebee Studio Series counterpart, Cliff Jumper, looking pretty freaking amazing. Just really wish the details would be filled in here, because that's why we got Toy Hacks. And I like that it's a silver tempo, so that they didn't have to waste paint on the red Autobot symbol, and it color matches and everything. It just looks really, really good too, alongside this other animation accurate. But I feel that this is the point of a contention that I can't stand with the vehicle mode, is you got Allspark Blue for the windows, but then this is, I feel, a better version of that. And where it's the same Allspark Blue, but I mean, amongst the red. Actually, it's red paint over that, and I'd rather have this color of blue, because this is the blue that's prominent, and this is where one could argue that you need to have like a whole separate piece inside of the other piece and do it that way too. I think that would be even better solution for the whole paint dilemma, painting the windows or not painting the windows. But if you're using it, it needs to be a darker tint if you're doing like a clear plastic. And I really don't want to do a clear plastic. I'd just rather have it solid black piece and be a solid black piece and not something thin and clear, so it doesn't break. Oh, and finally the other last comparison for prosperity. And Hardhead with Brawn alongside the other Brawn. So there's that. On in some final thoughts, guys. Some final thoughts on the Jeep mode. I really do love that I figured out a way to kind of make the gap fill in better there, and I'm sure maybe a third party trying to plug in that stuff to make it look better. I hate that you would have to do a third party add-on. You really don't need to just have a gap on the side. Wished it was an Allspark Blue, maybe black, or a darker blue akin to the Cliff Jumper I showed off earlier. And there's no excuse for the hubs to not be pinned. This is just cost cutting. I'm for $30 or wherever you get it, depending on what the price. I mean, you're paying too much for it anyway to begin with. These used to be $9.99 as a deluxe, and now we're up to $24.99, if not more, depending on the specialty shop you get it from. And that is just too much. Get it converted, and final thoughts on the robot mode. Final thoughts on the robot mode. I think it's an absolute banger of a robot mode. I really do like the way this looks and comes together. It's got a very fun, intuitive transformation. The only thing that kind of concerns me over time is whenever you go to put the grill out, it's that paint scraping issue there. The negative for the robot mode, period, is lack of wrist articulation or swivels. That should be something that's a staple hold. It's just everything else is here that you see. And waist articulation. It seems like the waist and the wrist get overlooked or budgeted out, and that's getting old pretty fast. Wouldn't mind having white background and then red painted and making it look true and through, but I guess that's why we got toy hacks to begin with. Thanks again for watching my channel, guys. That's going to do it for Mr. Brawn there. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. All the stuff down in the description below. Thank you again to all those who have subscribed. Have a great weekend.